Hi everyone, Jus4SweetZ here. So today I want to share with you how to make a money-saving meal. This is just a tip. I bought this pork loin at Costco a couple days ago, and it was on sale for $1.99 a pound. And then they had an additional coupon to get $3 off. So I got this entire pork loin for $12.44. So you can make at least 3 meals out of this with a family of 4. And so I'm going to show you, they give you, on the back of their pork loin, they show you how to make it into different meals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into freezer bags, cut them up, and then that way when I want to make like shredded pork, I can throw one in, or if I want to make a pork roast, I have one, and then I'm going to make some pork chops. So the cuts that we're going to do are a boneless pork rib roast, a boneless pork sirloin roast, and then some loin chops. So what you want to do is you want to take this and you're going to cut off each end, and that is this one end, so the one to the very left is what is going to be our boneless pork rib roast, and I'm going to cut into it about that far, and I'm just using a serrated knife and a cutting pad, and I'm going to actually keep it in the plastic. And you can see how beautiful of a cut of meat that is, and we have a nice big chunk for our rib roast. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stick that into our big Ziploc freezer bag and seal that up. Okay, and you got to be careful because you're going to have the pork juice everywhere, but you'll clean all this up when you're done. Okay, so the next cut we're going to do is a boneless pork sirloin roast, and we're going to do that about right here. So each end, and I'm going to label these so that we know exactly what we have in each bag. Okay, so make sure you don't set it back down in that pork juice, and I've been picking it up with the plastic, so I've been trying to keep my hands very clean so that we don't get the pork onto the freezer bags. It's all inside. Okay, the next step we're going to do is I'm actually going to take the plastic off this time and kind of, let me go throw this away. And now what we're going to do is take the remainder and make loin chops out of it. So you can make them as thick or as thin as you like. I'm going to do mine approximately an inch, 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. And I am using a serrated knife. And you want to go ahead and just cut each of your pork loin chops. Now you can use this with any recipe. You can make these in a crock pot. You can grill them. You can bake them. Or if you want to and you don't find anything to do with them, you can also, make shredded pork out of them. You could also cut these into cubes, make pork kebabs. You can make stir-fried pork. There's lots of options and ideas. Be careful for your fingers not to cut. I'm going to do it so I can grasp on here. So we're going to make some nice pork loin chops here. You can see I'm just kind of cutting them the same thickness so that when I bake them or cook them, they're going to cook evenly. These would be really good coated in an Italian Parmesan as well. Or Wild Tree makes, excuse me, Wild Tree makes a seasoning called Java Rub, which would be excellent on this if you have Wild Tree products. If you're interested in Wild Tree products, go over to Linda's Pantry. She sells them and uses them. Gosh, I have a frog in my throat. Uses them all the time. Okay, this is where you get tricky on the last one, and I just kind of try to grasp onto it as well as I can. So I may have one thicker chop here and one thinner chop because I am not having a good run with this one, but that's okay. I'm going to take it to the side and try to cut it that way. So if I have a thinner chop, it's alright. I just have to know that I can't cook that one as long. So I'm going to go down and I'm just cutting it just like so. my hands are freezing. I didn't have my meat at room temperature, so that didn't help. Okay, so that one's a little bit mangled, but it's just a thin chop, and that's okay. We can still use it. And then all the rest of them, let me put this in the sink, are cut 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. So I actually have 9 chops out of this. I'm going to separate those into 2 baggies, so I've actually made 4 meals out of this instead of 3 meals out of it. So we have our wonderful pork loin chops, we have our rib roast, and we have our sirloin roast. We've made a lot of meals out of one thing of meat that was $12.44. You can't beat that price, so that is definitely a money-saving meal. I am going to clean this up a little bit, and I'll be right back, and we'll show you everything all packaged up. Okay, so I have them all cut and bagged and labeled. You can see that I put the date and what's in each bag. I have 4 freezer bags. I'm going to go ahead and freeze these. Here's my pork loin chops. And we're going to freeze these. And then that way, if I have a meal that, you know, I need pork, I got plenty of pork to back me up. And I've saved money doing it, and I've got at least four really good meals out of this. So when you freeze these, you want to make sure you put them in your freezer bags and you squeeze all the air out. Squeezing that extra air out of your bag will help prevent freezer burn. I learned that in a Wild Tree freezer meal workshop that I took at work. It was actually really fun. So I learned to get all the air, as much air as possible. So I just kind of fold them when I'm doing it. So see, like I've even gathered a little bit more air. I fold them and then I seal them. So that's my money saving tip on pork. I hope you enjoyed it. And go out to Costco or go to a store and see if you can find yourself a big pork loin and cut it up into different meals. Make a freezer meal out of it if you want to, and add some potatoes or some peppers or whatever you want to it. Pre-season them before you bag them, whatever you want to do. I hope you give me a thumbs up if you like this video and share this on your Facebook page. Please join my Facebook pages, Jus4SweetZ, or my group page, Recipe Book. You can ask to become a member of that and share recipes and get other people's ideas as well. So until next time, next video, have a wonderful day, everyone, and God bless.